Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. This is the big one. This is what we're all waiting for. Ten Hag's press conference covering live in 15 minutes. Of course, we're talking about the FA Cup and the high-flying Liverpool. How are we going to beat them? Who is available? Will Rasmus Højlund start? There's a lot of questions. And of course, Mark Nurse is going to join me here as well. Please, let's continue this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Let's do this. Are you ready to rumble? Yo, welcome back, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. How are we all doing this lovely Friday afternoon? Of course, we're here gathered, not for marriage, not for funeral, but can be both, to be honest. We're here to talk about Jurgen Klopp versus Ten Hag, and we all saw the battering yesterday. Slavia Prague, they are in form. Even if they're playing the kids, they seem never to lose this season, even with the kids playing like, amazing. I just don't know how they do it. And of course, we are gonna listen to Ten Hag. Who is available? Will we have a chance with Rasmus Højlund coming back? Will Aaron Wan-Bissaka play as well? We will have a back four consisting of potentially Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Johnny Evans, Varane, and I don't know, will it be a Dalot? We'll see. But there's a lot of questions that we're going to listen to today because the players had 1 week off. Liverpool played yesterday, as we know, so they will have 2 days rest. Will fatigue set into the league? What matters for the Liverpool? Something's got to drop. Are they going for the Europa League, or are they absolutely going for the Premier League? There's a lot of things that we're going to unpack today, and I'm really looking forward to hear good questions for these journalists today. Tactically speaking, are you going to line up pragmatic at Old Trafford, or are you going to go for it? Because let's face it, FA Cup is the only trophy that we have left to win. And by the way, we all saw the draw in the quarterfinals for the Champions League, and it absolutely looks like it's an exciting one. Real Madrid versus City. What do you feel about that one? And Arsenal playing Bayern Munich. Harry Kane versus Saka. That's going to be a very interesting. So I just have a gut feeling that all the British teams will advance into the semis. We might even see a full British final. Who knows? But one thing is for sure as well, peeps. One thing, since West Ham, they beat the German team yesterday, Freiburg, it's pretty much nailed on that fifth gives you Champions League as well. And I would take a Champions League, but still finishing fifth is not a merit in a way. But anyway, how are you feeling? How are you doing? What you drinking today? Smash that like button. There is about what? How many of you are watching right now? 30 tuned in. Where are you? It's lunchtime, and I'm having, as per usual, me double espresso. Big up for you. I see Jarle Malmin, one of our members, is here saying Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. Very important for Arsenal to win this game and knock out Bayern Munich out. But the thing is, Bayern Munich is not so good. And I also say that Real Madrid hasn't been that great coming into this run of fixtures. But you know what? Bayern and Real, they always, they are the teams that will never give up, right? So, but I'm also impressed by Atletico Madrid, to be honest. So I put my bet on Atletico in the finals as well. But let me know what you think. AM versus Dortmund, City versus Real Madrid. Now it's game time. Last game, PSG and Barcelona. Will PSG ever win something? I mean, they invested heavily in this squad, the Globetrotter squad, and they haven't won anything as of yet. Maybe this is the time for PSG. Maybe this is the swan song for actually Kylian Mbappe before he goes to Real. I mean, who knows? Who knows? It's wide open. But I certainly don't want City to win another Champions League in a row. 100% no. It would be something if Arsenal could clinch it, actually. Wow, imagine that. If Arsenal wins the league this season and the Champions League, we will never You know, the Arsenal, the Gunners fans will never give us a minute to breathe, to be honest. But it is what it is, and just sad state of affairs to see that we should be in this competition, but we are not, and we are out of it. So basically, FA Cup is the only trophy we can win and finish strong in the league, and I believe we can do that. Basically, if you saw Villa yesterday, they're not that great, right? Villa is playing who they're playing as they're playing West Ham on Sunday as well. So I think that West Ham is going to do a number because West Ham is playing home, and West Ham is everyone's bogey team, and you know how they play, right? You know how they play. So good evening to you, Jamie Wayne. What you saying here? Should got kudos. That guy is unreal. That goal from Kudos, wow. I mean, I think it was the 4-0 goal when he actually drove a solo, like in a 60 meters by himself. What a goal. You know, reload record, what you're saying here, 100% reload record. What does that mean? Can you explain yourself? What is reload record for you? Villa versus Lille, what you're saying here. I hope they would have forgotten Fiorentina. Yes. Kudos is madness, man. What a player. What a player. Anyway, big up for all of you for coming in. We are about, let's see, 10 minutes away from the actually press conference, which we're going to cover live. And Kenny is drinking coffee. So I'm also drinking coffee, mate. I am having me double espresso as per usual. Oh, I love my coffee. There's nothing like a, what is it, 10th cup of coffee of the day. Yeah. Morning, Mick, Dark Crow, Danny B. Morning. How are you doing? Morning to you. What's Ramos saying here? Ten Haggis. Oh, I love that name. Is he Scottish? Haggis. Ten Haggis bench Kudus for Anthony and Ajax. Kudus was Ahmed and Ajax back then. Hey, you can't take a life, but you can't take a freedom. Yay, 100%. What are you saying here? Yalla, Villa did bash Ajax 4-0. Jesus, the downfall of Ajax, man. What the hell is going on? Ever since Ten Hag left Ajax, let's face it, they've just fallen down to the abyss. They are just a team of shadow of themselves. I mean, basically, Ten Hag was so important for that Ajax team. And then Ten Hag, by the way, if you look at it, has brought in a lot of youth, even in Manchester United. You know, we've been blinded by the light, but they actually introduced a couple of youth from the academy to play in the first team. So big up to Ten Hag as well. Anyway, Mocha for you, man. Woohoo! Mick, it's KJ's soundtrack. Oh, I don't know what KJ's soundtrack is. What is KJ's soundtrack? Maybe Mark can tell me what KJ's soundtrack is. Mark, what is KJ's soundtrack?
KG's soundtrack? His soundboard, he's meaning, you know, the boom booms that KG drops, and he has these little, you know, these short intros that he talks with, like people saying, please.
Oh yeah,
brother.
Yeah. I'm not that advanced because we're streaming in StreamYard, and StreamYard is quite basic. So I haven't really figured out how to incorporate. But Papi has that too, you know, get out of here.
Yeah, Papi has it too.
Yeah. Well, hang on. Ramo is having a good point here. Like Ajax lost also Van der Sar and Overmars, and that was such an important trio. Mark.
Yeah, they did a lot for that club. You know, I mean, together as a unit, they had the same direction. They beat from the same drum. They know they were like a band, the Ten Hag band.
The Ten Hag band.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because he was the lead singer. The other two was doing the background music.
Overmars was the bass. Like he was the bass.
Making sure everything worked.
And Overmars was the bass player then.
You know.
Yeah. And Van der Sar
the drummer
was the drummer.
is always the big man, Van der Sar.
Yeah. With the double bass drums, like the brrr, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Big up, Jamie. I missed you too, man. I mean, we've been a little bit busy. Of course, I was away celebrating my wedding anniversary. And you know what? When Manchester United is only playing one game a week, there's not much to report on. So I don't want to force feed like to do live shows every day. There's nothing to talk about, right? So it's better off to go live when you actually have to say. And I've been focusing more on doing quality videos and stuff like that. So yeah. It's just good to take a break. And plus, after this, it's international break for 2 weeks.
100%. And, you know, it's always good to have the international break. It makes it a little bit easier. It always gives you, that time, it gives you that period of like respite, I should say. You know what I mean?
Rest pause.
Yeah. And like Manchester United, we need that as a fan base and as a team right now. At the moment, it's a lot of heavy situations and news. It's a bit dark, to be fair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, tell me, Mark. There is no one day where there's nothing written about Manchester United to discuss. I mean, when there is nothing to discuss, media actually creates stories, and regarding everything that's been going on, like Samuel Lockhurst is Samuel Lockhurst. He's got to work for the Hollywood Insider. You know what I mean? And then
He's
Mark
still
Ogden,
mad.
yeah, he's still mad. And Mark Ogden and what's his other name? Rob Dawson that's been banned from the presses are the ones that are leading the agenda, like the Ten Hag agenda, right? You can put two and two together. You can't. You see what's going on, right? It's
Yeah,
funny, eh?
it's a tough one, Mick, and if you look at it from the perspective of they put out their news, and soon you never know, they might gotta have egg on their faces, and they might have to be, retracting some statements that they've previously made, well, because their sources have not been sourcing recently. So let's see how it goes. And it's a message to the fan base, really, guys, be patient. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
media is
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be the media. They're gonna print stories, reckless stories. It's gonna be upsetting. It's gonna mess with your mind. But you have to look at it from the perspective of sometimes the media isn't right. They're just,
No,
stirring up
no.
contention.
I did a video last week when I covered Ten Hag's job is safe. And Slow Sports News, everyone was reporting it yesterday. They're covering what Ornstein was saying. But I picked it up last week when Ornstein had an interview and said Ten Hag's job is far, far, far near from being even discussed because they're focusing on getting the top management above him first, the director of football, the head of recruitment and everything else. And they will just sort of address it in the summer. And, of course, he will be judged by the results, but they also acknowledge that what, you haven't had that support. We know what you can achieve. So will he stay, will he not? At the end of the day, if you're going to appoint the best class, what you've been doing all the way up from the manager, then you certainly need to sort of appoint the best class manager as well, right, to make it make sense, right? Everyone was on the De Zerbi wagon. De Zerbi absolutely got smacked against Roma. He's out. I don't see any other manager at the moment that is out there other than Javi Alonso or a Zidane, right?
I mean, I don't even think Javi Alonso would be a good idea right now. I mean,
It's a
if
different
we
type
if
of
we look at the
football.
situation and judge from Ten Hag, Xavi Alonso is a very good coach. I'm
Yeah.
not taking that away from him. His performance in the Bundesliga this season is breaking a 10-year title-winning streak from Bayern Munich. So that's pretty amazing. A team that has, for me as a fan of football, there's always been a heavyweight in the German game, but they've never really won anything. So
Yeah.
it's like he's bringing them into the fore. And I feel like Xabi Alonso is probably going to stay at the club for one more season because I feel like to establish himself as a manager, it's
Yeah.
one of his career. It's going to be better for him to go again, take them to maybe a quarterfinals of the UCL, and probably try to win the league again.
Yeah. That reminds me of a rock song. I always associate the things with music, right? You know that song with Whitesnake, Here I Go Again. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm sure know where I've been. Here I go again on my own. Going down the only road that we ever known. Glory, glory, Manchester United. We can only look
Yeah,
forward. I mean, yeah, it's been a torrid season, 100%. We talked about a lot of injuries. We talked about no style of play. And if you look at it, Ten Hag's style of play is actually to play like, a high press, right? To win the ball back high up in the pitch. But you really haven't had the players to do so, right? Bruno kind of half pressing. Rashford's not pressing. Nobody's pressing up the front. So instead, we're playing this pragmatic football, man marking, which hasn't really worked. So I would say that he's playing safe. He's just playing to, get results. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, at the same time, I think he's doing a bit of both. I think he's trying to instill some principles while trying to get results. I feel like, yeah, some of the players aren't doing their best, but it's also a highlight that some of the players might not fit the mold. You know what
No,
I
they
mean? And I
don't.
feel like
No.
fans take it the wrong way when they see some of the players not performing well. They say, well, it's
Oh,
the
no.
manager, the way the manager set them up that they're not performing well. But at
No.
the
But
end of the day,
everyone that's educated know it. Like, it is. You don't. It's a mishmash of players that don't belong in this team. There's no cohesion, and they're used to playing counter-attacking football. They're not used to play possession-based football. That's it. But guys, anyway, big up Jamie Wayne. I can see you. You're coming back with the venom. Peace, love, and bananas for your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Jamie. How you doing?
belated
And
birthday,
Z.
Jamie.
the press conference is about to start.
Let's
see. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it started. It started. It's about to start, people. So get into your questions here as well. Let's. The presser.
Liverpool, but it's now time for Eric Ten Hag.
Can everyone hear it? Thumbs up.
Welcome everybody to our press conference for
Welcome,
FA Cup game against Liverpool on Sunday. The first section is embargoed until 1:30 p.m. Let's get going with Simon Pitch.
Hi, Eric. What is the latest, first of all, with Rasmus Højlund, Harry Maguire, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka?
Get in there.
Well, we had a good week. So all the players you mentioned, they returned on the pitch. Partly in the start of the week, and today we had a session, and they were all training.
Good stuff.
So they're available for.
I think we have
Mind
tomorrow one
games.
session. Of course, we have to see how they recover from this tomorrow, but it looks good.
Is there anybody else back or unavailable?
Yeah, it's so Tom Heaton is back as well.
Tom Heaton
also was very good. Mason Mount trained also whole week with us. First part of the week also partly, but then also we had some full sessions with us. So it's looking good.
Good stuff.
Eric, are some games bigger than others? I mean, this is a standalone match. It's an FA Cup tie against Manchester United's biggest rivals. Is it the chance to make a statement to show that you can compete with these teams, that you can take them on at home and beat them?
There's some games are bigger than others. That's definitely, and I think Manchester United, Liverpool, that's always a big game, but especially when it's quarterfinal FA Cup. We're really looking forward. It's a special game, absolutely.
I mean, what would you say to the fans? Obviously, there'll be a lot of Liverpool fans there because there's bigger away allocation, but it's important that the fans get behind the team.
Yeah, but of course, to the fans, they see it as a very big game, and they are very eager for us to win this. And I'm sure they will ride behind us. And as you mentioned, there are more Liverpool fans, so they have to be really loud to support us. That we had them.
Oh yeah.
But I'm convinced they will do that. Absolutely.
How important is it that you produce a performance, because your players all season have been inconsistent? Liverpool have the momentum at the moment. What sort of performance do you need from your players this weekend?
Yeah, but I think in such games we always achieve very good performances. So yeah, we had our setbacks, we had our lows, definitely. But I don't think in any so really high-rated game we had our lows. Then we were always in top form. So, and I'm convinced we will be on Sunday as well.
You can't afford a low on Sunday, can you? Simple as that. You can't.
If you want to win, and we want to win, you play against a good team, because then you are right. They are very consistent. Then we need our best to beat them.
And how impressed have you been with Liverpool this season?
Yeah, well, I said, they're very, very consistent, and they perform, of course, very well. They got in the results, and especially I think from, say, around the Christmas into January, February, they play very good football, very good performances, and very good results.
Thank you.
Eric, if I just move away from the FA Cup a little bit, the Champions League draw and Europa League draws have just been made. You're obviously not in that competition. Does it frustrate you, or does that motivate you to try and reach that goal come the end of this season?
Of course, it motivates again to be part of that, and we know why, and so we analyzed that. We left it behind us. So we know the reasons why we are not there, but we can't change it anymore. And but we want to be part of it next season. So we will do and give everything to achieve this.
Hi,
David Moyes said ahead of this game 10 years ago that Liverpool were the favourites coming to Old Trafford. Would you say they're the favourites tomorrow, or would you always be adamant that Manchester United are the favourites in a home game?
Oh, it's a difficult one, because I never think about this, who's favourite. It starts on 0, and make sure we are ready. And I don't think about the opposition. I respect them. I respect every opposition. But it's about make it our game. And it's about this, where we know where the strengths are, but also where the weaknesses are. And it's about that our team is in the best. It's about this.
Hi, Eric. It's been a difficult season, obviously, in the Premier League, going out of Europe, injuries you've had. But do you feel that a victory on Sunday could almost be a catalyst and transform the season and give you the momentum to maybe push for that Champions League place in the last 10 games as well?
Now, what we never got to turn around so far. And we had our opportunities, but we missed the opportunities. Yeah, Sunday we have another good opportunity to get the momentum. And I think the players, the team, showed lately. I think from January on, we are in a very good series of games with a lot of wins, and so they can have the belief they can do it. And now we have to take the momentum, and that is also what I feel when I train with them during and around the games, that they have that belief. They have so good confidence, good spirit is in the team, and go and play and get the turnaround. Yeah.
Chris.
Hi, Eric. You said that in general this season you've been quite good in the big games. Some fans weren't happy with the approach to the derby, even though you did score first. Do you think people have to understand and realise that you can't go toe-to-toe with teams like this and hope to win?
So it's always about two teams. And so the intention would be never that deep. But it was also the game when you score first. And of course, then the opponent, the opposition, will take more risk. That is what they did. I think similar, for instance, against Villa, where we've had a very good start. And after we scored the first goal, they have to come. And then we know, I think we are very good when there is space in the back of the defending line with our players. And I think we showed against City, I think it was really small margins when we should have get that second goal. And even after the first, after the 1-1, we shoot with Garnacho. We had a great opportunity to make it 2-1. And so that was really, really small. And then we could have won this game. And yeah, so that will be also our intention for Sunday. Yeah, we will go and be brave and go forward where it's possible. But also we know when there's space in the back of their defending line and we can explore it, but we have to get to that point to outplay them, to get the balls there, and that demands good strategy in the key moments and in the head moments of football.
But you've experienced what a Klopp team can do if you open up too much, yeah?
I know.
Yeah.
Last question in this section.
Hi, Eric. There's been a little bit of speculation about Marcus Rashford's future this week. You've spoken about FFP before. Those rules benefit clubs who sell academy graduates. Obviously, Chelsea have done something similar. Do you ever envisage a situation where the club might look at Marcus and say that as part of their overall transfer strategy, it's a positive to sell Marcus because of what it could do to the overall financial situation?
We didn't re-sign him last season for 4 years with the intention to sell him. No, he should be part of this project. And so that's just is not so a subject we talk about.
Great to hear from.
There you go, people. That's it. That was a interesting press conference, Mark. I mean, I like the last question, you know what I mean, regarding Rashford's future. And of course, you would extend this contract for another 4 years because you don't want to lose the value at the end of the day. This is how it works in the transfer market, right? So if you didn't sort of re-sign his contracts would be run out and they would not get that as much money as as they want. So his transfer market value is worth about 75 million euros, and he's definitely 100 million sell on, right? You know, if they decide to go that route, Mark. So what did you take out from this press conference in terms of key takeaways, Mark? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Firstly, I would just say that there were some good questions, and then there were some a bit, I think, very distinct. You know, I don't like that one of the questions that they said. I think it was the second to last question or the third to last question that the guy posed. I think, like Yali was saying, it's not really a nice question. It's pretty nasty. But I think what it is that they're trying to say, well, okay, are you a good coach? Possibly. Is this team a good team? Possibly. Is this club able to compete with clubs like City and Liverpool? Maybe not. You know, but Erik ten Hag, for me, he was answering mostly honestly. I feel like there's not much you can argue with the responses that he gave. I like how he answered about the Rashford question, because at the end of the day, he said we. You know what I mean? We. So when he says we, you know it's not him. So when people say, well, you know, Ten Hag decides everything because of his veto, well, that statement alone proves that
100%, 100%.
He doesn't do it. So
I mean, journalists are very smart how they mask the question. If you can't read between the lines what they are after, right? In terms of, he said we cannot compete against City. It's impossible, right? Because we know that City has the best squad in the world, and they bundle some talents and bench players, right? And then can you go toe to toe with Liverpool? Yeah, we can, 100% we can, right? This is, you know, you got to believe. And yeah, I mean, of course, Liverpool, what they do best is set up traps. Like, you know, they like to press high, and they have this never say die attitude. I'm pretty pissed off with Liverpool this season, to be honest, because they never lose. You know, I'm irritated, like, because they might be 1-0 down and the final 85 minutes, and then they put in the extra, you know, gear in, like, you know, the press gear, and they've always been so lucky, like, you know, last kick of the game, they win the game and stuff like that. This is what Manchester United used to do, if you remember, right?
Yeah, it was our thing. I mean, Fergie time is extra time. Extra time was Fergie time. Is it not the same thing? Like when we say extra time is Fergie time. So, you know, I agree that they have that never say die attitude. We lost it, to be fair. Like, you know, and we should be the ones that have it the most. That's our mantra. That's where we came from. That's what the club is built on, from my perspective.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree. I agree with what Yali is saying. Yeah, like, you know, certain questions, what to get the manager to hang himself, right? I don't really appreciate some certain questions there, like, you know. But in terms of fitness, this is what we're here for. We want to understand who is available, right? And for me, it was clear in abundance that Mason Mount could be available for selection. Højlund will be available for selection. I remember Saka available for selection, but he didn't say anything about Harry Maguire, which was interesting.
Yeah,
right?
actually, yeah, he did say Harry.
Did
the
he?
first three of them were Harry Maguire, Harry Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, and
Luka Shaw.
No, not Luka Shaw. It wasn't Luka Shaw. No, it's Højlund.
No, I'm trolling you, man.
He didn't say anything about Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is one for me that I was waiting to hear some information about, but it seems like he's out, and maybe the reports that we've been hearing that he might be on his way in this summer window might be actually true. So I was happy that he said Mason Mount has actually been in training, because for me, I'm one of the critical fans of Mason Mount, but at the same time, I want to see what he can do. The biggest critical point for me is he's wearing the number 7, and he hasn't played much games this season. So,
by the way, did you read Lockhurst's? There was a tweet this morning criticizing, urging Mason Mount to give up his number 7 shirt. Did you see that tweet? Disgraceful.
I saw it, right? But you know what? You know, I mean, I kind of agree with him.
But that is kind of like, you know, this guy is clear and obvious what he's trying to do here. He's trying to fuel up the fan base, and that is, he's a shitster. He's a shitster.
Yeah, because I mean, while I might agree with the number issue, I don't agree with how he's using it. Like, I feel like you could be mad that he's wearing the number 7, but that's nothing for you to put up and say, well, look, let's get this guy out of here or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also like there was a tweet that he wasn't signed for footballing reason. We all knew that. Like, you know, he happened to be available in the summer. He's a poster boy, he's a pretty boy. Let's give him the number 7 shirt. And he hasn't really played. So I'm excited to actually see Mason Mount in action. Let us finish strong with the, he said we haven't even been able to turn it around as of yet. Did you notice that answer when he said that? Because that is actually reality. Because if you look at it, he hasn't really been able to play his strongest team this whole season. So he hasn't really been had time to turn it around. There was a spell like, in January, we basically lost 2 games, but we haven't really played that good football. The time we turned it around was when Licha came back with Casemiro, and we had a little bit of a balance, and that didn't work out. And Luke Shaw, right? So if we look at the league table at the moment, right? We talked about this. I believe that Villa is going to bottle it because they're playing in Europe as well, right? So I believe they're playing West Ham over the weekend. I think West Ham's going to do a number because West Ham's playing at home, right? Spurs, 4 tricky fixtures in a row. I mean, they're literally playing everyone. Like, they're playing City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and who else? Newcastle.
Newcastle and Brighton.
Newcastle, yeah, and Brighton. So who's to say it's not nailed on? And by the way, barring the results that happened yesterday, this gives Manchester United, the Premier League, the English teams, the 5th spot in Champions League. So yeah,
pretty good. Pretty good shout.
There's a lot of things to look forward to. And are you afraid for this weekend? I've seen a lot of people, they're not going to watch the game. They can't stand it. And it's like, why? You're a fan. Why? Why you're a Manchester United fan, right? Come on. We're not going to get slapped 7-0 here, right? Come on.
I mean, the journalists, I feel like they're not doing justice to what United is this season. Like maybe last season we got slapped 7-0. We held that. We won 2-1 or 3-1, and then we lost 1-7-0.
Yeah. And guess what? Lockhurst is a Liverpool fan, so don't fall for it. What Compost Murphy is saying.
Already know that. But also, we went to the Anfield this season, and we came away with a point.
Yeah, we did.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
They come into Old Trafford where they usually lose, and you never know. Maybe the psychology is there. They might be like frustrated, but hey, remember these guys? We couldn't score on them the last game. Maybe Manchester United has Bruno and has Rasmus, and they feel like, listen, last time we were more compact, now we could attack. You never know what could happen. It's a rivalry game. Be fair to Manchester United. Even though we haven't been great this season, we are still a dangerous team. When in our moments we could show up, and if the players turn up, you never know what could happen. It's a big game. Yeah,
no, of course. I mean, if it was Anfield, right, there would be a total different ball game. But this is a home turf. He was asked about the crowd, and he was urging the crowd to get behind the team. So why wouldn't you watch the game? Like, this is the one fixture that I look forward to. This is war. This is Liverpool, right? And I've been getting shit from my brother, who is a Scouser fucking supporter, right? He's been giving me grief, right? My big brother is a Scouser.
My buddy, 2 of my buddies, one is an Arsenal fan, the other one is a Liverpool fan. So for me, I'm getting grief all season. But you know what? I'm standing my ground because you know what? When they were in 6th last season and they were fighting it, I was giving him grief. It's how football goes. Just as much as you're excited to win, you have to be able to hold an L. You know what I mean? It's just the balance.
Oh no, I'm not going to hold the L because I have a gut feeling. I know that footballing gods exist, but I know for a fact that if something's got to give for Klopp, it will be the FA Cup, right? He's deep into Europa League. I think his focus is to win the league, right?
And Europa.
So that would be like, that'd be something like, that's his one song, right? This is the final dance. And he's got his players firing up because he's leaving, right? And even the kids that he brings in, like, my God, it's like nothing ever happened, like, because they've been playing the same style. The under 18s has been implementing the same style for 9 years, like, So if somebody goes missing, you just pluck one in and, it's like for like,
100%.
So they've been carrying this team, and it's deeply impressive, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, listen, as a fan, when you look at Liverpool, you look at teams like Man City, Brighton, they have that structure that we are looking to rebuild. You know, we were the example initially in the 90s under Alex Ferguson and Mr. Gill, but now it's not the case after a decade of, you know, poor management and mismanagement behind the scenes. So when you look at those teams, they have that structure where they have profile for profile replacements in the squad. They have mavericks, and they have a scouting system that has been scouting for that system for over 5 years.
Yeah, true.
That's very
I mean,
huge.
this is the only thing that we can look forward to, because things are about to change if everything falls in place, right? So we will no longer be that 11 years of the torrid, you know, no clue what we're doing, like, you know, just buying shirt sellers without even matching the style of play, right? And that's a big difference. But if I look at Liverpool kids, you know, never heard of Bobby Clark, never heard of Bradley, McConnell. These are talents, right? What I've seen. And that is so typical. Like when I see Klopp, he reminds me of a Sir Alex Ferguson. He stole everything, right? He's read his book, you know. He's his biggest fan. Like, you know, if you're good enough, you're young enough. You know, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And, you know, he stole the Fergie time to Klopp time, right? 100%. He's adopted everything.
Yeah, we're going to get it back because it belongs
we
to
got to get
United.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's going to leave. So basically, Liverpool will be on a rebuild cycle. So depending on which manager they're going to recruit, they're going to have to recruit the same manager that plays the same style of gegenpress football. Don't you reckon? Rock and roll football.
Yeah.
So, but if they do recruit like a Xabi Alonso, let's say, to Liverpool, there would be a total different transformation in terms of style of play, wouldn't it? It would be more like tiki-taka football.
It's kind of like a mix between, but the formation is different. They go to, because he plays basically with a back three. You know,
yeah,
it's
he
basically
does.
a back three,
like
five across the midfield. The two are just basically wing backs, really bombing up and down. It's like that old school formation Milan used to play with back in the day. You know,
yeah, but I like a back three. Why not? You know.
Yeah, I mean, a back three is interesting. Formations are always interesting. You know what I mean? Whether it be a 4-4-2, 4-1-2-1-2, 4-3-3, 3-4-3, 5-3-2, all of those formations are pretty interesting. It's just how they work, the players, how they effected in the system, how it works, and it would be interesting to see how they play if they do that. But at the same time, you know, it's not going to be, you know, just smooth sailing when they change their manager. You know, that's if Klopp leave, because you never know. The guy might sign a contract and stay on if he wins the league. You never know. Euphoria could change things. At the same time, you know, it's not too bad looking at the situation with Erik ten Hag, because, you know, I feel like this manager has dealt with a lot of pressure. You know, most of it coming externally, some of it internally. You know, you had so many different sagas this season. Maybe we get a season without the sagas, with some new players in the squad.
Yeah, 100%. And you know we're speaking like, you know, some people call it delusion, but you got to, like, I'm a bloody Manchester United fan, like, in hardcore. I never want us to lose, and if we lose, I'm getting so pissed off for days that it hurts, right? But let me see what the comment section is saying here. Big up to you. We've been rumbling here. What you're saying? Your wife is a Liverpool fan. Oh my God. Seriously, Compost. Jesus, really? How did you manage to do that, Compost? Well, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, just being married is hard enough. I was celebrating my 8 years anniversary yesterday, right?
10, Mick. You know, that's the only thing I could say. As a guy, you just do some crazy things, is be a 10-10 situation.
Yeah. So how do you manage that? I just don't know. Okay. A different thing is to have a big brother that's a Liverpool fan. I don't see him that often, but if I live with my wife, I see it 24/7. She's a Scouse supporter. Oh my God! I remember Terry Lewis. His new girlfriend, his Mrs. the American guy. What's her name? She's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, she's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. Yeah, and big up Terry. Like, you know, but I've seen ever since then he's been tweaking a little bit more for the Gunners. Like, but anyway, he speaks a lot of facts. Like, Gunners has been playing amazing football. I cannot lie, right? Liverpool, as much as we hate them, they play good football, right? Arsenal plays good football as well. And this is kind of the style of football that I like to see. Big up Stephanie Griffith, M&M's in the house, 14 likes. Jesus Christ, what do we have to do to get those likes up? What's going on? Is everyone lazy? Press those like buttons, otherwise we will get, you know, Deutsche police coming knocking on your door all the way from Mark's house. Yay, Deutsche Post. Right. It's Friday after all, right?
You know, it's Friday. It's one of those days, and it's kind of warm out, so you know what I mean. It's not too bad. You know, it's a good situation today.
Yeah, you think that Charlie's saying? I mean, he thinks that Klopp is getting greedy. I want 4 trophies before I leave. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good if he was to say that, because now you know that Liverpool is going to be thinking that they're going to be high flying, because like the journalists, everyone thinks that everyone's going to walk over Manchester United. Everyone's going to walk into Old Trafford and beat us down. And you know what? To be fair, in the last 10 games, I don't mind if that's their attitude coming into United, because you know what? They will leak complacency, because they'll be overconfident, thinking they're just going to do us one over. And I always be saying, United, maybe we haven't been that team last season or the season before, but we are that team in general. And I feel like somehow it's going to be a shocking end to the season. Maybe United grab top 4, win the next 10 games. You never know. You know what I mean?
100%.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
And that's the way the season has been. So you just have to believe. Or we go with Arsenal as well.
It's a disgrace. That's what it is, a disgrace.
I can't even begin to talk about Arsenal right now. I've been, you know, my buddy, he's mad at me because when Arsenal played Porto on midweek, I said to him, I was like, bro, how is that not a penalty for Porto? I was like, bro, how did the referee let that foul go and you went on to score a goal? Like, those things happened in the game when we played them at the Emirates, and it all went Arsenal's way. And I'm
the game of the week for me was Atletico versus Inter Milan. What a game of football. I mean, you could talk about Simeone being a pragmatic, but he dug deep, and there was like the street fighters. Everyone on that stadium was basically rooting and crying afterwards. What a game of football that was.
It was a good game. Mo wasn't happy though. Mo
wasn't happy. No,
Mo said they missed. Well, they did miss. You know, they had like about 3 or 4 clear-cut chances. They should have put it at the back of the net. But at the same time, Mick, I hear people talk about Lautaro Martinez, and after what I saw in that game, Mick, I'm telling you now, Mick, I never want to hear this guy being linked to Manchester United, because you know what? That's the disgrace. You as the
was painful to watch.
3 in a row, you know, Mick. 3 penalties in a row.
Bro, he was sponsored by Fly Emirates, Fly Better, right there.
Had to be Fly Emirates, bro. Because that stuff was definitely soaring into the car park. Somebody went home with a match day ball.
Dude, yeah. I mean, unbelievable. Mo, if you're watching, my condolences, brother. You know, and
he got destroyed on the live, bro. Everyone was messaging him.
And Ramadan Kareem to you as well, Mo, and all the Muslims out there celebrating. You can hear now where I'm sitting, they're calling for Suhar. It means it's time to eat, right? It's time to eat, and you know, it's a holy month. So, but bro, that pen, Jesus Christ! I mean, what was he thinking? He must have got to his mental pressure, like, you know, he was just overcooked. His legs was gone.
He was like, I'm gonna bust the net, bang! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Back too much.
He leaned too much backwards, so maybe he had too much baked beans, like, you know, heavy in the back.
maybe. But,
hey, you know, guys,
with the balance coming in from what Erik ten Hag was saying seriously about the players coming back from injury that might be available for the tie against Liverpool, it gives me some more confidence, because if Aaron Wan-Bissaka comes in, for me, Dalot stays on the right, Bissaka goes to the left.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him play on the left.
Did you watch my video this morning, you bastard? Did you cheat? Really?
Yeah. All right, guys. You have to always call it out like that, man.
Shut up, Mark. Score prediction then, straight away. Fuck the lineup. What do you reckon?
I'm saying 3-1 United. I'm going with a Mick Ruby special. For some reason, that's what I'm saying.
We are going backwards. Let's do this the right way. Sorry for trolling, Mark. 100%. Mark, I add you to the stage because you've been doing a little bit of a cheating, haven't you? Watched my morning video, and exactly what I said. I think we will put on the best team out there because this is pretty much the best team that is fit at the moment. And I said exactly what you just said, you know, because Dalot had made that right back position his own. He's already customized. So I would put Van Bissaka over there to the left, 100%, you know?
Yeah.
But
you know, the only thing
Mm.
I was thinking I'd bench Rashford and start Anthony in this game and bring on Rashford in the second half.
I don't think so. Ten Hag wants to win this. So I've gone with this simple analogy. Why changed a winning formula in the back, right? Onana, please forgive us for saying bad things about you. We know that you cost us the Champions League. That was one of the questions. Dig at the manager at the press conference. We know why. We analyzed the game, but he's been paying back his credits right now. He's been keeping clean sheets, been bloody one of the man of the matches every single performance since he came back from AFCON. But I go with Varane and Evans because that's been our strongest centre-back partnership at the moment, right? Dalot, it's been solid. Van Bissaka will come back in because that gives us a little bit of a balance. Back four. Midfield doesn't change. I think Scott McTominay will sit the bench as a bench player. You know what I mean? So you will see Maino, Casemiro, and Bruno Fernandes. Now, I think that Bruno needs to put in a captain's performance here, right? Be the playmaker, right? It's important that we get hold of that midfield, right? Because what they do in rest play, they are very good at setting up traps and presses, and they will attack us, right? So we need to be resolute with Maino and Casemiro being dog fighters, right? Just be dirty in there. Rashford, maybe he needs to have another 30 shots on tequila to have 30 shots on target tomorrow, but he won't be dropped. He will play. Z will play. And Garnacho on the right, where he's been doing very, very well, right? And of course, big man is back. Big man. Rasmus Højlund. Do you think he will start?
I think he will come off the bench. Sorry. I just think that's why I said I will put Anthony off the left, because I feel like Rashford is going to start. Højlund is going to come off the bench. He hasn't played, and if you know Ten Hag, especially with the performance that this young lad has given so far this season, he definitely won't want him to come on and play a full game and be injured again. He would want him to come on and get minutes and get himself ready for the first Premier League game coming in 2 weeks, which is also, you know what I mean, a big game for us because we need to win that one and then go to Liverpool.
Yeah, man, come on. You have a Darwin Noodles who actually starting to find his form. He's been doing a hip surgery. He used to have 2 left feet, but now they actually replaced one. So he's got 1 right foot and 1 left, and he's shooting right now, and he's finding the target. It's been recalibrating this little robot, to be honest. And you will have Salah and Darwin. So I think the fullbacks needs to be on full alert, right? Who is the better one to track Salah, in your opinion?
That's why I'm putting on Wan-Bissaka there, because
Spiders.
Spiders. Put that tackle on that guy.
Spider.
Yeah, put that tackle on him, man.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I would say this: Salah is a very good player, very difficult to contain. But whenever there's a defender on him that puts the tackle in on him, he gets frustrated and then he starts doing erratic things. And it takes away from his game. So I would definitely be putting on Wan-Bissaka to mark him. And I would leave Dalot on the right. Let him deal with Diaz. Because you know what? Yeah. I feel like Dalot and Diaz would have a better battle than Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah. But do I get your blessing? Do you get my lineup?
I would agree with that. I would agree with that lineup. My only concern is that I'm worried Rasmus might come off the bench and he might start Rashford. But other than that, I would have probably picked something very similar.
Cool. We have world peace now, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Mark Nurse are coming to an agreement. When did that happen? God, I don't know. Listen, Mark, I'm not nervous. Come what may. It's a game of football. It's FA Cup. And, we see magical moments in FA Cup. I believe we can do a number there. I certainly believe. And you have to believe, right? And, what's the point of going to war if you know that you're going to lose, right? So you 100%. Just play your game.
At the same time,
but we know Yeah, but we know they're going to come at us.
Yeah, they're going to come. And that's what you want. You want them to come at you. The hype has been real these last few weeks. And yes, the youngsters that they've brought into the squad have shown up in the games that they've came on. And yes, Liverpool has been showing that consistent performance for most of the season. But let's not forget, there have been parts of the season where they went in and they played teams like Luton, and they barely got a goal. You know, it took them more than 70 plus minutes of game time in order for them to either equalize or come back. So for me, they can be got. They're weakened at the back. They might have Konate and Van Dijk, but you know, Conor Bradley is not he's still a youngster. He's very talented. And
Yeah,
I feel if he's up against Rashford or even an Anthony, he's gonna have some trouble at some point. So, you know, I think it's a more even game than people are letting on, and that's mostly because I feel like United are getting a balance in their defense for this game, and that is the key.
Well, listen, you said it, you know, I just don't want to give up. Like, you know, I just do feel like, you know, if Højlund is now back, we've been missing that number 9. You know, he was on a big run. But the thing is, what worries me now, Mark, he's been out of action for 2-3 weeks, right? Will he be rusty? You know, that's the thing, right? But hey, why should we bloody be worried? This is us. This is Manchester United. We're playing at Old Trafford. We know that they're going to press us. We know they're going to try to do the best. But we just need to play a game. Why Ten Hag said it in this press conference as well. Like, you know, we know that what they're playing. We just have to look at ourselves and let the crowd be with us as well as the 12th player on the pitch.
100%. Because at the same time, if you look at how the team is performing right now, I mean, it's not that bad. We won the last game 2-0. People say that, you know, if not for the penalties, we would never have scored a goal. But if not for the penalties, you know, the guys would have scored if they weren't fouled in the area. And, you know, it could have been different. We should have probably scored more goals in that game. We had more chances than we converted, which is usually the case. But at the same time, you know, remember, we have 2 young players that are leading our line this season in Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho, and they are both under 22. So give them time. Give them some space, give them some patience. You know what I mean? I think the attack will come good. We have 10 more games, and with the bolstering of players coming back from injuries, only going to make the team stronger and more confident going forward. So
yeah, right. Guys, let us know in the comments section. Do you reckon we can do a number? Do you reckon we could wipe that big shiny teeth of Jurgen Klopp, the prosthetic aesthetic teeth that he went and done? I want us to stop Jurgen Klopp. Liverpool needs to be stopped. And please let us know what you think. What is your score prediction? Let's do this. Rightio, Mark has already started. Mark said 3-1. He actually went with the Rubico Classic. Jack Reacher 8885. Big up Ratchy. He's thinking what I'm thinking, 3-2. But if Trashy lose, Manchester United 0-3. This is so important. I wouldn't say trashy. I have a responsibility towards a wider audience. I don't like to call players names, right? But he hasn't been that good. Rashford needs to be on his A game tomorrow, and all of these senior players need to step up. You know, they need to be fired up. And I believe that tomorrow, Liverpool coming to town, this is the big one. That, you know, if you're Manchester United, Mancunian, you will bloody love to play this game tomorrow, right? So I'm saying, yeah. So people have been watching my video. They say 3-2, but I've gone with extra spice in it, guys. I done a little bit of a spice. I know you hate it, but it's a knockout stage as well. So you got to be penalties involved. So I done a little bit of a tension here. 1-0, or it will be 1-1 full time with pens, or 2-0, or 2-2 with pens, or 3-2, or a Ruby Classico. El Clasico e 3-1. So what do you think? Are you changing your stance, my friend?
No, I'm keeping my scoreline 3-1.
No. No. I love that confidence. No. Guys, place your bets. We're going to do this. We hate doing predictions, so we believe in footballing gods. Some people believe that this wheel is been tampered with. Let's see if Klopp has been here tampered with the JavaScript code. Let's do this. I think it's going to be pens there. 3-2. I said 3-2. Yeah, well, come on, man. Come on. 2 freaking nil.
Bro, don't be surprised. Do not be surprised. Because let me say that. I'll just say this. I've watched United all season, and I don't know if anyone else is watching with me, but United always gets the first 2 cracks on goal against the big teams, the top 6 teams. Man City, first chances at goal, both games, we got them. Arsenal, first chances on goal, we got them. Tottenham, first chances on goal, we got them. Both games. Aston Villa, both chances on goal, first games, 2 chances each game, we had them first. So I'm just saying, guys, if United could be clinical on Sunday, with the fact that if you look at the games, go back, check the reports. Statman Yali's there. I know he can prove me right. He'll come in shortly.
Statman Dave.
No, the Yali, Statman Malmain.
Yeah.
He'll come in just now with the stats to show it.
Bro, I don't know you. Listen, I'm not too confident about you. I think somebody jinxed it. I don't think that we're gonna have a clean sheet. No, I don't think. No, you myself, listen. Be real.
I myself actually don't think we will get a clean sheet, but I myself think that if we could be clinical on Sunday, we could definitely see ourselves being up 1 or 2-0 in the first half. Come what may after that.
Dude, I think it would be in that case, it might be a 2-1. I mean, if it's going to be a tight one, it might be a 1-1 extra time and we will clinch it. I think you have a Scott McTominay coming off the bench and does the hero, like, I need a hero.
Maybe Ahmad might come off the bench. Maybe Anthony might be the guy. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not, the problem for United is not that we don't create chances. It's just that we're not that clinical. We haven't had a
defensively, we need to be sharp, and we've been good defensively lately. But we cannot have concede 30 shots. We gotta be that. We gotta between the defense, the rest defense. You cannot have those gaps against Liverpool. You need to be compact.
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say, right? We've been letting people running through our midfield and just having shots, right? So. Yeah, the defense is important. If Wan-Bissaka is playing, he will pinpocket one of those. I mean, it might be Noodles or he might be, Mo Salah, Super Mario Bro. You know what I mean? Boing, boing. Like he looks like Super Mario. And if we can contain them, we'd be good. Szoboszlai will play 100%. McAllister will probably play. So our midfield better be sharp. I don't know if end of story will start Endo, but we just got to look at our game and don't let them play the game, and don't play towards the Klopp game. Just play your own game, Ten Hag. Do not do your man marking. Do your high pressing game, right? Make those bastards run the socks off, right?
I feel he's going to do something quite similar to what he did against Liverpool in the last time when we played them. The only difference is that Bruno is in the squad, right? Last time we were sorely lacking a creative outlet. So maybe he goes and he tells Bruno, listen, I don't want you to create 20 chances in the first half. I want you to 5. Right? Yeah. Recycle the ball and create 5 chances.
Anyway, we should see, guys, it's been 1 hour soon since we started the stream. We covered the live press conference. We heard the questions. There were some questions led to believe, not direct questions, but mass, go hang yourself kind of thing. And we're just looking forward is what the clock is ticking 72 hours away until kickoff. A low block against Liverpool will be deadly. A high block against Liverpool. FA Cup comes to United. Maybe next year need to do something in the middle. And that's what I've been saying. The middle, right?
In the middle.
In the middle. Big up. By the way, what are you saying here, Jamie? Before I close the shop, Mick, it's Sunday, not tomorrow. Yeah, I know. Did I say that? Sometimes, Mick had too many coffees, right? It's not what you're smoking and what you're drinking. It's just too many coffees. And it's Friday. And of course, I'm gassed up, because me, Liverpool, it's war, right? It is war. Big up crew, big up Danny as well. Guys, listen, beautiful people, thank you for tuning in, everyone. If you're watching this in retrospective, don't forget to smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, do it right now. And we should see you later on this evening. Hopefully me and Jarvis will be back on doing a good vibe show and also Puppy Hour, Happy Hour with Puppy as well. So Mark, wie geht's? Alles gut? Ja. Sancho is staying in Dortmund.
Yeah, if Gate is good, that would be great, you know, if he stays, because in my honest opinion, I only am worried about if we're going to get 35 or 45 million for him. And that, for me, is breaking even.
Oh, yeah, Listen, I have a premonition. I have a prediction. In my crystal ball, I see Casemiro, the decisive goal, a header from Casemiro on a set piece. Boom.
Nice. Boom.
That's it. Booyaka. Beautiful people, thank you for tuning in. Guys, lovely to see you all. Lovely to speak. First stream of the day. Thank you, Mark, as well, for coming in. The Deutsche Jamaica, no, the Deutsche Trinidaden, learning Deutsche sprechen, ja.
Yeah.
I'm pulling your leg, man. I was absolutely enjoying bantering you today, man.
It's so good. It's so good, you know.
How's your Deutsch lessons going? Germans, listen.
Oh, it's going good. It's not too bad. Like, you know, I have classes like for an hour today, so it's be fine. Every day else is like 4, but it's cool. It's cool. I'm learning lots, and maybe by next week I'll give some like little snippets in German so everyone could enjoy the language.
Okay, at least you know you can go out and order a beer right now.
Definitely, most certainly. Ich möchte ein Bier.
Alles macht eines Gutes, Bier zu brauchen. Klaus Thaler. Big up people, thank you for tuning in. It's time to close the shop. See you to the next video. Glory, glory, Manchester United. And don't be afraid, because we're going to get this over the line, I believe. Bye for now. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Release TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.